Lesson 95.
The Case of the Missing Diamond.
Practice 2. Listen and write.
Listen to the inspector talking to Mrs. Osiris.
So, Mrs. Osiris, you went up to your room at 11:30.
That's right. Mr. Lennox, came up with me. We said good night, and I went into my room.
I see. What happened then?
I started to get ready for bed. I put my ring on the table near the bed, and I went into the bathroom. When I came out of the bathroom, the ring wasn't there anymore.
How long were you in the bathroom?
Oh, I don't know. About 10 minutes.
Did you hear anything, any noises, while you were in the bathroom?
No, Inspector. I was washing. The water was running.
I see. Could you describe the ring for me?
It's a magnificent ring. The diamond is very big, set in gold. The ring is very old. It was in my husband's family for a long, long time. Oh, and on the inside is an inscription, some writing. It says, "For my darling Sasha."
Who was, or is, Sasha?
I have no idea.
The ring was insured, wasn't it?
Of course. For $500,000.
Thank you, Mrs. Osiris. One last thing. Have you any idea who took it?
Well, Inspector, it was very strange. When Charles and I came out of the elevator, I saw that Mr. Hunt, I think his name is Jake. He was in the corridor, outside my room. But his room is on the next floor.
I see. Thank you very much, Mrs. Osiris.
Now listen to the inspector questioning Peter Osiris.
How did you spend the evening, Mr. Osiris?
Me? I had dinner with my darling mother. Then I played cards in the lounge until about 11.
Who did you play cards with?
Albert and Jake, the Hunt brothers.
Lucky evening?
Well, no.
How much did you lose?
Let's just say an awful lot of money.
What work do you do, Mr. Osiris?
Me? Work? I don't have a job.
So, your mother gives you money, is that right?
Let's just say she sometimes gives me money, when she remembers she has a son. Things have been very difficult for me since my father died.
I understand how you feel. What time did you go to bed?
Well, I was feeling a bit depressed after losing all that money, so I went out for a walk by the lake. I don't know what time it was when I came back. Probably about 12:30. I'm not sure.
All right, Mr. Osiris. Would you just wait in the lounge?
Listen to the inspector's interview with Charles Lennox.
You wanted to see me, Inspector?
That's right. Are you here on holiday, Mr. Lennox?
Well, we're in Vermont on holiday, but I'm in the States on business.
What is your business, if you don't mind my asking?
Diamonds, Inspector. My business is buying and selling the world's most precious diamonds.
So, of course, you noticed Mrs. Osiris's ring.
Well, of course, it's my business, Inspector.
I see. How did you spend the evening?
After dinner, Alexa and I sat in the television room for about an hour. Then my wife went up to bed. She had a headache.
And what did you do?
I watched a bit more television, and I went up to bed, too.
What time was that?
Oh, about 10:30. Perhaps a little later.
You didn't see Mrs. Osiris all evening?
Well, I saw her at dinner, but that's all.
Mr. Lennox, Mrs. Osiris says that you took her to her room.
Did she? Oh, well, yes. Oh, yes, of course. I met her in the elevator. That's right, I met her in the elevator.
All right. That's all for now, Mr. Lennox.
Now the inspector is talking to Mrs. Lennox.
I'm sorry to get you out of bed, Mrs. Lennox, but I have to ask you some questions.
It doesn't matter, Inspector. I wasn't asleep. There was such a noise. That woman shouting about her diamond ring.
Your room is next to Mrs. Osiris's room, right?
Yes, that's right.
You went to bed early, didn't you, Mrs. Lennox?
Yes, I had a headache.
You left your husband watching television.
Yes, but I don't know what he did after I went to bed. He probably spent the evening with that woman.
What woman, Mrs. Lennox?
Marian Osiris, of course. Oh, Inspector, there are only two things my husband really loves. Diamonds and rich ladies.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Lennox. I know how terrible this must be for you. I think that's all for now. I'm sure you want to go back to bed.
Thank you, Inspector. That's very kind of you. Good night.
Good night. Sasha.
What did you say?
Nothing. Nothing. Good night, Mrs. Lennox.
Listen to Jake Hunt's interview with the inspector.
It's Jake Hunt, right?
That's right.
Where's your brother, Mr. Hunt?
Albert? He went out around 11. I don't know where he went.
Well, he won't get far. The police are out looking for him already.
What you mean?
I sent a radio message to police headquarters when I saw your names on the register.
You mean?
Yes, Jake Hunt. The police have been looking for you for a long time. You're under arrest for fraud and armed robbery. And maybe for the theft of a diamond ring, too.
No. Listen, Inspector. I didn't take that ring.
So what were you doing in the corridor outside Mrs. Osiris's room?
I was looking for that crazy son of hers. Peter Osiris owes me more than $1,000.
So, you just thought you'd take his mother's ring instead.
No, that's not true, Inspector. I never even saw the ring.
Come on, Jake.
Practice 3. Listen.
Inspector O'Grady has asked all the guests to meet him in the lounge. He has solved the case of the missing diamond.
Well, Inspector, do you know who stole the ring?
Yes, Mr. Lennox, I do.
It was that awful man, Jake Hunt, wasn't it, Inspector?
No, Mrs. Osiris, it wasn't. The police have been looking for him for a long time, but he didn't take your ring.
He didn't.
Then who did steal it?
It wasn't stolen.
What do you mean, Inspector?
The ring was taken, not stolen.
Please, Inspector.
Mrs. Osiris, the ring was taken by someone your husband loved very much.
Peter, it was you. I knew it.
I didn't take the ring.
No, it wasn't Peter. It was Sasha.
Who?
Who's Sasha?
Yes, Inspector. I took the ring. I am Sasha. The ring was mine. Nick Osiris wanted me to have it. He loved me, and I loved him.
Nick
My
never
father.
loved
I
anyone
can't
but
believe
me.
it.
Alexa, what does this mean?
Where is the ring, Mrs. Lennox?
It's in the lake.
Wow!
I threw it into the water so that no one will ever have it. First that woman stole my ring, then she stole my husband. She can have my husband, but the ring, never.